Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lochem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni leshalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom,
Malachei Hashalom,
Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Great. Thank you so much. One second. Let me unmute myself. Yes. Thank you so much. So I wrote in the chat that the Kabos are members of our shul. The youngest Kabo, Zohar, celebrated his bar mitzvah just a few weeks ago, the very first beit mitzvah of the congregation ever in the history of the world. And it's really nice to have you playing your music. And I actually put in the chat also, the Kabos are appearing today as the Kabos, but they appear often as their band, the Solar Sound Band. I put the links. You can check out their music. I'm sure you can buy it on iTunes, etc., etc., etc. So really excited to have you here to add to Kabbalat Shabbat. So I just want to start with a few announcements, stuff that's going on, and then we will get started. So there's a lot going on this week. On Sunday, we have Penny Dimeritz's Beit Mitzvah at 11 o'clock. All this is in the synagogue email. Monday and Thursday, we're having Evening Minyanim. It's a really nice way to get together with other people. And, some people go to Minyan to talk to God. Some people go to Minyan to talk to the person sitting next to them, whatever it is. 7:30 at night on Monday and Thursday evening. On Monday night, we're going to have our medical professionals meeting again. Really important space for our medical professionals in a private place to process a little bit about what they've been experiencing in our hospitals. On Tuesday, Sheila Reinhold playing gorgeous classical music, little day music. Also on Tuesday, ice cream and goofy games if you are in grades 4 to 7. On Wednesday, our 20s to 40-year-olds are having a Jewish learning with Rabbi Greenberg. On Thursday morning is Maddie Dickstein's Bat Mitzvah online. And we are considering something. I'm curious to hear what people think. You can send me emails afterwards about doing some over the course of the week, 1 or 2 times where staff members will host either coffee in the morning or cocktails in the evening where people can bring their own drinks and just chat about something. Maybe do a little learning, maybe just open chatting. So we're thinking about that in the coming weeks. Next Friday night, come back for Kabbalat Shabbat again, and that will include a poem written by over 55 of you. Not only the over 55s of you, but over 55 people of the congregation responded to our prompt, how are you spending your days? And a few of our writers are putting it together into a collective poem. So that's going to be next Friday night. And also, look, the show wants to be helpful and supportive. So let us know how we can help you. Like whatever it is that you need, whether it's something, whether you need to talk, whether you want to talk to someone from the staff, whether you just want a little bit more contact with other people in the show, let us know, we can arrange it. And the last thing I want to say is I am amazed at what's going on in our Emunah groups. Like such lovely reports of, I heard of one group where an older person and was just talking to a younger person about like how hard it is to be a parent and just kind of offering the perspective of time. And, people are dropping off things at people's houses. So they're And one of the nicest things about those groups is that what people are saying, what they love the most is they're meeting new people. You know, at a time when all of our worlds in a certain way are contracting, this is a way of expanding them. So if you're part of it, that's great. And if you're not part of it and you want to be part, then send us an email. All right, so now I'm gonna turn it back to the Cabos, who are gonna do a first song. They're gonna talk a little bit about their song, and then they're gonna perform it.
Oh, there we go. Hi everybody, thank you so much for having us in Shabbat Shalom. So this song that we're going to sing is Ve'ishamda, and usually we sing the song on Pesach, but for us three, the first time we sang this song was at our Schechter school for Yom HaZikaron. So we thought that it was fitting because it's about resilience and hope, and that's something that is very relevant to this time that we're in right now. So yeah, this is Ve'ishamda. Na 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 לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו, ואיש שעמד על אבותינו, ואיש שעמד על אבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו, בידיו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו, בידיו.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The words were perfect, and the music was just it just transported me. Thank you. So there's a funny phrase that's used in this week's Parsha about Shabbat. God tells the people, Et Shabtotai Tishmoru. And for Hebrew speakers here, what God is saying is observe my Sabbaths. And what's weird is that most of the time when God talks about Shabbat, God talks about it in the singular. Remember the Sabbath day, Yom HaShabbat, and keep it holy. So why talk about Sabbaths, Shabtotai? So maybe it's just a turn of phrase, a way of saying observe all of the Sabbaths that you have a chance to observe in your life. They're each one a precious gift. Savor them like maybe you just savor those few minutes of gorgeous music. But there's a rabbi with a mystical bent, the Slonim Rebbe, who suggests that Shabbat is both a particular day and a universal day. And that's what is meant by the plural. Shabbat as particular and universal. I'll explain. At one level, he says Shabbat is a reminder that we were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and now we're not. And this understanding is a reminder of the particularity of Shabbat. It's a Jewish holiday that marks something that happened in our tradition, in our history. Shabbat is, in this definition, a Jewish day, but Shabbat is also supposed to remind all of humanity about the creation of the world, right? In 6 days, God made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh, God rested. And that's not Shabbat as a Jewish story, right? There were no Jews at the creation of the world, but it's a universal one. It's Shabbat for the entire world. It's a rallying point for humanity. It's a reminder to us that everybody needs time off. It's a reminder that we need to protect our earth, that we need to protect all the people on the earth, right? We are all in this together. We have so much in common. On Friday night when we do Kiddush, right, they're both of those themes. There's Zikaron L'Maseh Bereshit, reminder of creation, and Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim. Shabbat is both creation and it's Exodus. It's both general, the world, and it's also our own story, and that's why it's plural. These last few months since the coronavirus hit, I've toggled between those two places, right? My Jewish place and my human place. I've really relied on Jewish tradition and community for support and structure, things like this. All of the ways that our community has come together, that Jewish rituals have really framed how Pesach for us was such a prism with which to see what was going on. But I've also been keenly aware of the universal, right? That this is something that is happening to the world, the entire world, right? Like when has anything ever happened to the entire world? And so that sense of being part of something bigger, part of something awful, but part of something bigger has been really powerful for me, and feeling part of the collective, that we are a we in the deepest sense. Everyone who lives on this globe that was created by God, we are all dealing with something really hard, and we have to face it together. That's really the only choice. I think it's why it was so disheartening for me this week when the mayor called out the entire Jewish community because of a gathering in Brooklyn. It turns out that the story is very complicated, right? This Jewish community in Brooklyn actually worked with the NYPD on trying to arrange a funeral, but things got out of hand. And it's true, it's not the first time something like this has happened, but I think the mistake that the mayor made, in my eyes, was he made it about the Jewish community as a whole. We have to be so vigilant about social distancing and the directives that are going to keep everyone safe. That is the bottom line for all of us. But when New Yorkers get it wrong, the mayor should call out people as human beings who live in New York, without any religious, racial definitions, and for sure not generalizing to entire communities because of a mistake that was made by one community. For me, if the coronavirus has anything to teach us, is that it does not care one bit whether we're Jews or Asians or African Americans or Latinos. It does not care if we were Republicans or Democrats. It does not care about any of the ways that we define ourselves, the particular ways that we define ourselves. It doesn't care about our state or country or continent. It only cares how we respond to it. And we have to respond together. We can't break ourselves off into small groups or allow other people to do that. I'm really glad the mayor admitted his mistake. He's working with community leaders to ensure that there's greater awareness and compliance. There's a big meeting with representatives of the whole Jewish community. I think he's doing what he needs to do, but I hope that all of us can keep focused on the we, because it is so tempting as this drags on to start pointing fingers and to forgetting about the fact that we are all in this together. And I'm afraid that if we don't, I'm afraid of the chaos that will ensue. There's one more teaching from the Slonim Rebbe about Shabbat and chaos, which I think is instructive. He quotes another rabbi, the Orach Chaim, who suggests that the heaven and the earth were created to last only 6 days, and then the world would return to chaos. It's a crazy idea, a world with a 6-day warranty, no extensions, planned obsolescence. It's also a scary idea. But the idea that the Orach Chaim says is that without God's energy and focus, come day 7, the whole enterprise would be in danger of falling apart. We all needed God. And until God offered the world the possibility of Shabbat, we were in danger of the whole thing collapsing. I talked about it a little bit a couple of weeks ago in terms of Adam and Eve. This is like a little bit of a different twist. He says that this 7th day could infuse the world, could give humanity a new spirit and energy enough to last for 6 more days. And then there would be another Shabbat, energy to last for another 6 days. And he called it, with a gorgeous phrase, he called it Hitchadshut HaBri'ah, the renewal of creation. If we take hold of Shabbat, if we pull back so that we can see the sweep of life, its creative possibilities, its power, then we can make the next 6 days possible. And we allow newness to enter the world. And we so need to remember that newness can enter our world. These days in our homes are hard. They're really hard. There is so much illness and death and fear. But I sometimes wonder, and maybe dream, that after all of this, maybe people around the globe will appreciate the way that we are all connected and responsible for one another more than we have in the past. I wonder whether we can contribute to that Hitchadshut HaBri'ah, that renewal of all creation, everybody, without adjectives, without definitions, without any of the ways that we categorize people. We should embrace our Jewish identity and rituals because I think that's what's going to get us through this time, our Jewish community. But at the same time, we are the human beings of New York. We are the human beings of the United States of America. We are the human beings of this globe whose anniversary of birth we celebrate on Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. I miss all of you. I miss seeing you in person, but I love that we have these Friday nights to get together and talk a little bit. Now I'm gonna turn things back to the Kabos, who are gonna sing a gorgeous Lachadodi. Maybe you'll talk, Noga, a little bit about the Lachadodi.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a melody that my mom and I wrote for Lachadodi when I was in middle school, I think, or elementary school. She's nodding at me saying it was elementary school. 7 years ago. 7 years old. And we've been singing it ever since. I recorded it for my bar mitzvah project. So I hope you enjoy.
Amazing, amazing. I felt like Israel meets the Bronx, meets upstate. It was great. It's such a treat to hear you. So people were writing in the comments. Someone wrote, "You all got me rocking in Little Rock, Arkansas." Someone from Little Rock, Arkansas is here. Someone in Yonkers is very pleased what you did. There's some Boston, I think, that's very excited about what's going on. So they're coming in from all around the world. I think your website's probably exploding like other websites are these days. All right, so now I'm turning it over to Ben Freed, back by popular demand. It is the second edition of CSAIR Trivia.
We are indeed back by somewhat surprisingly popular demand. This is Shul Trivia, where everything is made up. The points don't matter, just like what you wear below the waist on a Zoom call. So, just to review quickly, what's going to happen is we are going to ask some questions. If you know the answer to a question, I have you all up on my screen. Just start waving your hands, going crazy, throwing small children up into the air, and I will call on you, and you might win one of our fabulous prizes. Also, quickly before we begin, if you have an idea of a question about the Shul or about Judaism in general that you want to add to Shul Trivia, you can email me or any of the other Shul staff members and they'll pass it along to me, and you can be a guest quizzer next round. You can be one of our quiz questionnaires. So, starting off this week with an interesting question here, trying to rack your brains on your knowledge of what the Shul's physical building looks like. The first question is, what color are the walls painted in the social hall? So if you think you know, start waving your hands above your head. Well, okay, I see Irene Smookler. One sec, we're gonna get you on the screen here. Irene, go ahead.
They're a pale grayish green.
Wow, that is way more specificity than we had in mind, but that is absolutely correct. Way to go, Irene. And y'all's present is 2 tickets to Paradise, courtesy of Eddie Money. You can pick them up from him and thank me later. So, moving on. Excellent work, Irene. Our next question is, okay, this is a good one. Little Shul history for us. What was the first part of the synagogue that was built? And for a bonus point, why? So the first part of the Shul that was constructed and why. If you know the answer, are you the wait, I think I saw someone. No, he stopped waving his arms. Still looking. Is anyone? Oh, wait.
I think it was the Hebrew school. Okay,
Wait,
Rebecca.
Irene, you're still unmuted. I'll mute you in a second, but I saw Amy Levine hands vigilantly, so I'm gonna get Amy here. We're gonna unmute you. Go ahead, Amy.
It was a Hebrew school.
It was a Hebrew school, and why was the Hebrew school the first thing constructed?
Because educating our children is the most important thing.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Amy Levine Hebrew school, because educating children was the most important thing. Amy, your prize tonight is that day 37 of the Omer will be dedicated to you all across the world. You can ask anyone. Day 37 will be Amy Levine Day.
Thank you.
Feel really special on that day. Alrighty.
Diane Moranis also got that right. She put it in the chat. Just want to point that out.
All right, Amy, you have to share the 37th day with Diane. It'll be Amy and Diane Day. I'm sure your benevolency. I would give out day 38, but that's already been claimed by someone else. So, moving on, our next question is a tricky one. How many total scrolls does CSAIR own? That's inclusive of scrolls of the Torah, whether they be kosher or not, and Haftorah scrolls. So how many scrolls does CSAIR own? Anyone start? You can guess. You don't have to know the answer to guess. Start waving your hands over your head. I'm looking. Oh, wait. I see the Weissmans. The Weissmans are waving like crazy. 1 second. 1 second. We're unmuting you. We're trying to unmute you. Oh, there we go. And then we're spotlighting you. What's the answer?
How many total, you know?
20? 20 scrolls.
That is a good guess. That's a little ambitious, though. We're looking here. Wait, let's see. We're going to test your math skills in addition to your CSAIR knowledge skills. The answer is the number that you said divided by 2.
10.
Bingo! We have a winner. Excellent work. Your prize today is an increased share in Olam Haba. Big deal. You should turn that in, hopefully not for many, many, many years,
God.
but that's very, very exciting for you. All righty. Moving on to our final question of today, and it is a bonus, not CSAIR trivia, but it's Shul trivia from Agudath Achim of Little Rock. So this is Shul trivia. Anyone is eligible to answer, but it's not about CSAIR. It's about Agudath Achim in Little Rock. And the question, some of you who were here last week might remember that I think I said the answer on the call, is what year, and I'll give you within 5 years in either direction, what year was Agudath Achim founded in Little Rock, Arkansas? Oh wait, I see President of Agudath Achim, Sue Weinstein, is waving her hands. She's so excited to answer. Go ahead, Sue.
1904.
1904. Sue did not even need 1 year in either direction because that is the correct answer. Sue, you're our final winner for the day. You win starting in about 3 to 4 hours, 25 hours where you do not have to check the news at all. You get a complete rest and a break from all news checking. So congratulations. It's an amazing prize. Thank you everyone, as always, for playing along with Shul Trivia. It's been a pleasure. We also have a quick announcement. We had some winners from a different competition, from the Amazing Race Israel competition that was held for teens and tweens. And I want to wish a big congratulations to Adine, Daniel, Brooke, and Layla. I know some of you are on the call. And a big congratulations to all of you on your win in the Amazing Race Israel edition. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being amazing members of our shul. With that, I am going to turn things back over to the rabbi.
Thank you, Ben. So I think you mentioned counting the Omer. So today, right now, it is the 22nd day of the Omer. When you see 3 stars tonight, maybe you'll be making Kiddush, maybe it'll be after dinner for you, whatever it is, add 1 more day if you're keeping track. And now I want to take a minute to think about the people whom we love who are sick or in need of healing. I know that I know a bunch of people who are really going through a tough time right now. Some people in the hospital, some people at home, thinking about them. As I explained last week, we're keeping up our Mishaberach list. It's still current, even though it doesn't get printed out. It gets mailed to me every Friday by Stephanie, by email. And so I have it up and I'm looking at all of those people that that we're praying for. And if you want to put a name in the chat of someone that you're thinking about, someone that you hope for healing while I do the Mishaberach, you can, or you can just listen to the prayer and you can say their name when I pause. And again, we wish full and speedy healing to so many in our community and around the globe. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarif Karachev Leah Hu Yivarech V'Yirapeh Tacholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem Lachazikam L'Rapotam V'Yishlach Lahem Meirah Fuesh Leim HaShamayim Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf B'toch Shar Cholei Yisrael V'Cholei Ha'olam Hashta B'Galav Izman Kariv V'Nomar Amen. May God who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah bless and heal all of our loved ones. May the Holy One in mercy strengthen them and heal them soon, body and soul, together with all others who suffer illness. And let us say, Amen. It's customary to do a little bit of learning before one does a Kaddish outside of services. So we're going to do our prayer in place of Kaddish. I do want to, before we head into Kaddish, just offer condolences to families who've lost loved ones this week. All the information is in the emails about how you can be in contact with them this week. The Berenbaum and Stavinsky families, the Schwab family, the Kleber family, and unfortunately next week there's going to be a funeral in the Fruchter family. And we really offer our love and support and hugs to all of those people. As we recite the prayer in place of Kaddish, you can choose to unmute yourself so that we can hear you. If you want to stay muted, that's also fine. And so just a little Jewish teaching as we head into this prayer. So this is from the Talmud in Masachet Sukkah. Amar Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Elazar said, "Kolo setz daka umishpat ki'ilu mile kolo olam kulo chesed." Anyone who does deeds of charity and justice is considered as having filled the world with loving kindness. As it is written, God loves charity and justice. The earth is filled with the loving kindness of the Lord. Ohev tzedakah u'mishpat chesed Adonai malah haaretz. And I love that teaching. That if you do any act of charity or justice, it's as if you filled the entire world with justice and charity. Our world really needs that right now. And I continue to be really heartened by some of the really beautiful things that I hear in the ways that people are supporting each other during this time. So now, Mason, if you could put up the prayer in place of Kaddish, if you want to unmute yourselves, if you want to recite it with me, you can. If not, you can just listen. I'm going to do it in English, and then we'll do it in Hebrew. God of all spirits, in whose hands rest the souls of the living and the dead, graciously and mercifully accept our prayers on behalf of our loved ones, and remember all of the good and kind things that they did in this world. Grant them peaceful rest in the upper world, which is completely good. Yitkadal v'yitkadash, may the God's great name be sanctified and glorified. Oseh shalom, may God who makes peace in the high places make peace for us and all Israel and all who live on earth. V'imru amen, and let us say amen. El Elohei Aruchot, Asher biadcha nafshot hachayim v'ametim, Pnei hayom b'chesed u'v'rachamim, El tfilatenu lezecher yekirenu, Uzchorna et kol hachesed ve'atov, She'asu ba'olam hazeh, Tein lehem menucha nechona, Ba'olam ha'elyon, Olam shekulo tov, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
Amen.
And now I'm going to turn things over to Cantor Stevens, who is going to lead us in a closing nigun. And then after the Cantor's closing nigun, we're going to do like we did last week. Anyone who wants to stick around for virtual kiddush, you can. Virtual kiddush just means, I am in my house with my drink. You are in your house with your drink, your herring or dessert of choice. And we'll just schmooze for a little bit. Anyone just wants to talk, catch up about the week, to see how people are doing, and share experiences as we would at kiddush. So, Cantor Stevens.
Just want to add another thank you to the amazing Cabo kids for singing so beautifully and adding so much spirit to the service. It was really a pleasure to hear you.
Thank you, Cantor Stevens. We're looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Invite your friends. We have room for plenty more people. No social distancing necessary on these Kabbalat Shabbat calls. So invite your friends. We'd love to have more people. Anybody wants to go now, we understand. If you want to join me for Kiddush, just stick around and we'll unmute everybody. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Everyone's unmuted.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Abos, thank you so much.
Bye.
So let's go say bye in the book.
Matt.
Stick around if you want to chat.
Shabbat shalom from Sarasota.
Shabbat shalom from Sarasota.
Shalom from Irvington.
Hey, Irvington.
Shalom from Riverdale.
Where'd you go?
Where's that?
Beach.
Where's Riverdale?
Shabbat shalom from west of the highway, Riverdale.
Shalom from 254th Street.
50, a little north of where I live.
From Johnson Avenue.
All right, Johnson Avenue. Has Johnson Avenue been more busy lately?
Yeah, oh yeah, fire trucks and like ambulances.
Right.
Wow, that's not good busy. It'd be better when people are just hanging out at Menchie's.
Hey, friend.
Hi.
Yes, okay.
All right. A lot of people are sticking around for Kiddush.
Yeah.
So I have a question. A question for everybody.
Yeah.
My question is, and I've gotten this from a bunch of people, has anyone heard something that's really like helping them get through this time, like a bit of advice, or you've had a life experience that just really is like the thing you're holding on to kind of get through this time? And if you have something, kind of wave and raise your hand and I'll call on you. Yeah, Ruth Westheimer.
Thanks.
Very important what you're doing. Becky. Because very, very important what you're doing, because many of us are worried about those people who despair. Those people who say it'll never be finished, it will never get outside. And what you are doing is to make clear that it's a bad time, but we are going to survive. And also, those people who feel overwhelmed and who feel very sad, please to go and get help. Not to wait until this feeling of despair kind of overwhelms you. Call the rabbi, call some psychologist, call somebody who will tell you, stick it out, it will pass, and what you people are doing is wonderful in that respect.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to mute everybody, and then you can unmute yourselves if you want to talk. That might be a little bit easier. Does anybody else have anything that's just helping them get through the day, get through the time? Just unmute yourself and start talking.
One thing, first of all, it's great to see everybody here. It's lovely to join everyone in Riverdale. And the thing that's been wonderful for me is my son Malachi and his wife and their daughter Flavie live in Belgium. So I actually check in several times a week, and we have book time with Savta. So here, in case you're interested, this is my little granddaughter walking her dolly on the street in Belgium. But being able to have that connection is really nice. We talk several times a week. She shows me her books, and it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. Thank you. Anybody else? Unmute yourself and share whatever is helping you get through the days.
I see.
Ed, unmute yourself.
I see Barak Tulin.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Barak and then Ed.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys all know, but we moved to Irvington, so we actually miss the Riverdale folks very much. We have a group of friends there, and every Saturday night we do a Zoom call. And that's been something we really look forward to and keeps us connected because we're not in Riverdale anymore. So that's just been a really nice thing. We have drinks online Saturday night. So it's a very small thing, but it's been something to look forward to. And it sort of keeps the routine normal. And we have the kids doing the same call every Saturday night. And so it's really lovely.
Well, you're seeing as many people in Riverdale as I am, so so it's pretty much the same right now. Ed, unmute yourself.
Sure.
I unmuted you.
There we go. Thank you. These events, these shul events, and the links and the different learning experiences, Jewish learning, this service in quotes, this get together and sing the faces, that keeps us going. In addition, we've been following some other shuls, some other synagogues, and enjoying their offerings. Park Avenue Synagogue and Ben Chadel's shul in Cincinnati. And we're world travel Jews. We go to shuls anywhere we want.
That's great. Sarah Weiss Maudi wrote in answer to my question, chocolate and chocolate schnapps have been helpful. So that's also good advice.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to unmute yourself and tell us what's getting you through? I love this advice. This is very helpful.
Hi, Rabbi Katz.
Yeah.
Hey, and Jeffrey. Wanted to say I'm actually in love with the way the earth is healing itself. We have clean skies in LA. We have heron in Riverdale. We have Venice canals are clear. So I'm actually enjoying this pace of life. There's some things that, but I'm really enjoying this pace. So I really hope that we can hold on to this sense of how we can really pause and heal the planet and work towards that as a goal together. I really feel like there's so much that's positive out of this. And I feel like we're going to be propelled into the 21st century. And I hope, some things are going to fall away and some things are going to be renewed and move on. And I really hope that we can hold on to what's positive about that. And Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks. Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, Sheila. I'm unmuting you.
I've had a lot of nachas this week because my granddaughter, who's 14, did a video on social distancing in Belmont, Massachusetts. She interviewed several people from the town and impressing everybody with the idea of social distancing. And she was interviewed on Boston Channel, and she was interviewed and she appeared in the local Boston Belmont paper. So I thought it was great.
Good. That's great. That's great. Anybody else have anything just in general, not in relation to my prompt, just anything? Like, I love that. It's like anything that you would have talked about at Kiddush that you want to share right now? Yeah, Dovlet.
I'm listening to the Happiness Lab podcast. They're available, and this season has some sessions about COVID also. Called the Happiness Lab. It's done by Dr. Santos from Yale, who teaches the science of well-being, the most popular course at Yale, and you can take it online via Coursera for free also at this time. So she has a podcast that you can listen to as you're doing other things, which I find very interesting.
Thanks. Anybody else? Either answer my prompt or just something to say. Is that Walter? You want? I unmuted you, Walter, and then Irene will be next.
I just want to welcome back Tilda because we missed you.
Absolutely. And Irene.
Yeah, I'll take it back to the most simple. About 3 weeks ago, I set aside 4 minutes, maybe less, and I walk, after the sun is down, I walk out onto our terrace and I do deep breathing. And it's just helped me the next day to anchor myself. So I don't meditate yet, but it's really, the air is so clear now. And, you know, it's nice to breathe the air.
Great. Yeah, Matt.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Am I on? Good. A week ago, well, during this past few weeks, we hear about everybody saying thank you to the first responders and the nurses and the doctors and the people in the supermarkets. So I decided in our mailbox down in the lobby, I put a little note that said, "Mailman, thank you." And that was kind of nice. When I went to get the mail, see if you can see this. He responded. He wrote on an envelope to me.
You're welcome.
And it said, "You're welcome. Have a nice day." I thought that was just so cute and so wonderful. But not only do we thank them, but they thank us for thanking them.
Wow. Wow, that's great. That's great. Nice to notice the people that you don't always notice. All right, I think we have time for maybe one or two other people. So unmute yourselves or wave so I know to unmute you. All right. Okay. So I guess Kiddush is over. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Like I said, we're going to experiment this week with doing something like this, like a one weekday morning time for people to just chat, maybe with a prompt, maybe with some teaching. We're still trying to figure it out. Probably we're thinking like a coffee version and a cocktails version, a morning and an evening, 2 nights during the week. So just watch the emails for that. And I see that I think Nadine is still on, so an early Mazel Tov for Maddie's bat mitzvah. And hopefully it's going to be a good week for everybody, good healthy week for everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Be well, everybody.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye. Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Bye.
Bye. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
It's some sort of huge bird.
Mazel tov, Sheila.
Thank you.
That's Norma.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, honey.
Mazel tov to the frostings.
What, baby?
Frostings.
It's some sort of eagle.
There you are. You look great.
Hi, Tilda.
Hi. I want to say Mazel tov to the Rossmans. They just had a baby grandson.
Thank you.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Vivian.
Thank you, Rabbi Katz.
My pleasure. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Mason.
Shalom, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi
Shabbat Shalom.
Cantor and Ben.
This is great. So nice.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
All right. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's not making dinner. Is that you?
Okay. Beautiful.
No, it's Katie.
Vivian, where are you?
We're in Sarasota.
Oh, you didn't come back either. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
I'm going to close down the joint.
Hi.
You know, there's always the last one at Kiddush. It's
Got my
usually me.
raisin challah, got my raisin challah, got my libation.
Raisin challah. I love raisin challah. But I'm the only
I found
person.
it in the freezer.
There's all kinds of things we're discovering in our freezers. All kinds of things.
Okay, Rabbi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The best challah is found challah.
Shoshi is baking pita right now.
Wow.
Oh my God! I recommend the focaccia recipe from the New York Times.
Check it out. Check it out. We didn't really have a chance to really do up Yom Ha'atzmaut this week, so we decided Friday night is going to be Israel night. So we did 3 Ottolenghi recipes, and Shoshi's baking.
Which ones? Oh my God!
We did. What did we do? We did the carrots, the spicy carrots. We did, although that was one of those recipes where you start and then you discover that you have to make
I'm in awe.
In order to make the thing. We made the majdara, and we made one, and I made like a version. There's a not that one, a different one, and the I forgot. And then we made the sweet. I made a sweet potato with tahina thing, which is supposed to be with.
Oh, nice.
And then Shoshi's in there making pita.
You made
and
3 ottolenghi recipes at one time.
yeah.
You've got a little bit of time on your hands. What's going on?
No, it was like in between things. So anyway,
That's amazing.
that's
Kol
how we're celebrating Yom HaTzmaut.
Kol
Shabbat
hakavod.
shalom,
Kol
everybody.
hakavod.
Tilda, Fran, great to see you.
Thank you.
Very good camera angles. You're doing really well.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello to Shoshi.
Hey, Shoshi. Shoshi's, and I think she's finishing up her otolenge. Oh, wait, she's coming.
Take a look in the Otolenge.
Ben is gone.
Page 100 of
Otolenge.
the Jerusalem Otolenge cookbook. That recipe was submitted by Elia,
Sure it is.
our first grade teacher, by her mother.
Which recipe?
I think it's, I forget what it is actually. I just remember it's on page 100. But I like the that cookbook too. The Majra I also did. Yeah, look on page 100. I forget what the recipe is. But
I don't know. I have to tell you that I don't actually cook from this book because it's just, I mean, first of all, it's a beautiful book, but
they're
who
really
can cook
hard.
from this book? It's ridiculous. It's like the most granular. Is this it? 100?
Page 100. Yeah. What is it? What's the?
It says wheat berries and Swiss chard with pomegranate molasses.
Right.
Yeah, those are all things that I just really have.
And then at the bottom it says like recipe contributed by and the person's name or something.
Hold on. Not Teitelbaum.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
That's it.
Hebrew school teachers.
Very nice.
That's so cool.
That's our kindergarten first
That's
grade.
very cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, the stuff wasn't actually so hard except for the carrots. Like I started to say, so I started making it, and then it said, and then add 2 tablespoons of harissa. And I'm like,
okay, but what you made the carrots?
To turn to page something and make harissa, which was a whole nother project.
Well, then you have to like email Sam Sifton and get his substitute.
Exactly.
I actually emailed the Times today because they had a recipe for sockeye salmon, and I had just taken some salmon out of the freezer where there are all kinds of gifts, and but I couldn't make it with their recipe, and I emailed them. I said I have the salmon, but I need a different marinade, and I got an email back.
That's so nice.
With like a marinade, yeah, like totally love it.
Well, I mean, it's someone at home just like us, right? You know, it's,
Yeah, basically.
Right. Tilda, Fran, Mason, Barbara, Shabbat.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Great to see you.
everybody.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Hi, Shoshi.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Great to see you.
Okay,
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye.
Bye.